The Object 590 is a new Tier 9 Russian premium medium tank. This tank is an Autoreloader tank actually. So first let's talk about the tank. This tank has been in development in the 1960s, but this tank actually has never been made. Only Wargaming made this tank by the blueprints. The crew of this tank, here we have the commander, gunner and the driver of this tank. The gun of this tank is a 100mm caliber gun with an auto-reloader mechanism, which means we have here the first shell to reload will take 8.3 seconds, the second shell 14.7 and the third shell is 18.6. This is like the IS-3A has the same mechanism. To reload the whole magazine will take you 41.6 seconds. The intercap reload time is 4.3 seconds and we have 3 shells in the magazine. The DPM of this tank is 2.3k. The alpha damage of this gun is 320, which means you have an 8.3 second reload time for a 320 alpha damage, which is not a great deal. And after that, if you want to shoot the second shot, you have to wait for an extra 4.3 seconds. So this is not great at all. And if you shoot all of your 2 shots, then the third shot will reload from 18.6 seconds. The accuracy of this tank, here we have 0.41 dispersion value and 2.97 aim time. The gun depression of this tank is 5 degrees and the elevation is 23 degrees. And the 320 of damage can higher up to 400. The HP of this tank, here we have 1.8k HP. The armor of this tank, this is the hull armor, front, side and rear. This is the turret armor, front, side and rear. So as you can tell, this tank doesn't really have any good armor whatsoever. The gun traverse speed is 41.7 degrees per sec, which means this tank turns his turret fast. This tank weighs in 40 tons with a 700 horsepower. This means the forward speed is 52 km per hour forward speed and 20 reverse speed. The hull traverse speed is 45.9 degrees per sec, which means this tank turns his hull fast. The consumption of this tank is 283. This is a good base camo value because the tank has actually a low profile, which many Russian tank has. The range of this tank is 380 meters. The signal range is 850. Let's go now and configure this tank. The field modification of this tank, set this at max level. First, we have, let's see what is the best field modification. This will give us not that great. Here we have, this will decrease the dispersion but will add to the aiming circle size even more. So you have worse dispersion value. This will increase the accuracy of this gun, but you will have more dispersion on the move. On the gun traverse smooth and hull traverse smooth. So these are not the best deals. Now this will give us actually a good plus to the concealment, but minus 2 km per hour to the reverse speed and to the let's go with only with this because this looks like a good deal. This will give us plus 2 km per hour for the speed, but minus 3% to the view range. So let's go with the speed actually, because this is actually a medium tank, but this means the view range of this tank is now really bad, 369 for a medium tank. The Defender has 350. This is bad for a medium tank, and if I add more view range, then will actually decrease the forward speed of this tank. So if you want to spot with this tank, go for this. But if you want speed, go for this. So ammunition loadout of this tank, here we have first is a basic APCR with 225mm of base penetration value. Shell velocity speed is 1480 meters per sec shell speed, which is really fast. The AP of this premium ammunition with 268mm of base penetration value and with an 895 meter per sec shell velocity speed. This is slow compared to the APCR. It's not even 900. This flies definitely slower than the APCR. The HE here we have with a 315 base alpha damage and 50mm of base penetration value. This has a 780 meter per sec shell speed. This means this flies even slower than the AP ammunition. So this is close to the E100 big gun shell velocity speeds. Let's select now all the good crew skills what we can have here. Let's configure this tank. So the first slot is the mobility, and the second slot you can choose between scouting or survivability. So because of this is a medium tank, you can go with scouting or you can go with survivability. So for the survivability, this will take up ventilation, and for the obviously this here will go the turbocharger. And in the third slot you can add the stabilizer, this or this to improve the aiming, or this to make the gun even more accurate. So you have a lot of choices, but let's go with the basic stabilizer here. So let's check now the stats of this tank. Here we have 2.5k DPM, which means you have now 7.6 second reload time for 320 alpha damage. This is still not great. Gun traverse speed is 45.7 degrees per sec. This means even this tank turns his turret even faster. The accuracy of this gun 0.38 dispersion value. value. This is still bad, definitely bad. And aim time 2.7 seconds, this is definitely bad, still bad. Compared to that, we have here only a 100mm caliber gun. So these stats are for a 122mm caliber gun, or even bigger guns has these really bad stats. And now we have some stabilization minus 20%. Now the mobility of this tank is 59 forward, 21 reverse, which means the speed is actually good. Now hold forward speed 50 degrees per sec actually is really fast. The concealment 617. This is a TD camo value, which is actually good. The range 412. It's still bad for a medium tank. Let's now check the armor of this tank. In the lower plate, this tank has got around 225mm of armor protection value. Upper plate 220. In the turret we have around 240, 250. This is, here we have a big sword with 200. The gun mantle of this tank is around 216. Other side around 250mm armor protection value. In the turret we have 106, 108. Let's go to the left side of this tank. In the gun mantle here we have around 100. In the turret from 161, 130, 40 at the back. In the hull 85, 85 and 85. Let's switch here to HE. From the rear side here we have 42, 106. Engine bay. Let's switch back here to APC. Engine bay 32, 33. Other side has the same armor profile configuration. So let's go now and check the tank in side scraping position. This tank actually can bait the enemy and side scrape, but other than that, here we have a big weak spot and big weak spot here everywhere. Theoretically, you can actually side scrape with this tank, which is interesting. Now the tank in 5 degrees of gun oppression is, let's switch here against the this is only 268mm of base penetration value, and as you can see, the armor of this tank doesn't exist. Only upper plate 240, 241, so 260, so it doesn't even matter, everyone can pen you in. I mean 5 degrees of gun oppression. The conclusion about the armor profile of this tank is that this tank doesn't really have any good armor. In the turret max value 253, 255. I mean, for against tier 7 tanks, that's good, but that's it. The conclusion about this tank is this tank is really bad. For a 100mm caliber gun, we have terrible stats. The DPM is trash. The accuracy of this gun is trash, aim time is trash. This is a medium tank after all, with not great armor. Yeah, you can do 3 shots, but the intra-grip reload time is 4.3 seconds. That is long, so, and even you get big penalty after if you shoot all your shots. So this is not a great deal at all. The view range is low, 412 for a medium tank, tier 9 premium medium tank, that's bad. The only good thing about this tank is the camo value. I would say the camo is good, turns his turret fast and turns his hull fast, and that's it. And the 5 degree gun oppression is completely unplayable. I would say any tank with 5 degree gun oppression is really bad and hard pain to play anything with 5 degree gun oppression. I mean, that is bad. The speed, yes, will go with 59 forward and 20 reverse, but the overall review of this tank is that is trash. So thank you guys for watching.